You know, the other day somebody posted a comment on my Facebook page.
Boy, you've been posting a lot of ugly cars lately.
Hey, it's not my fault. I'm just posting whatever new cars are out there.
So are you saying that all new cars are ugly?
I'm not saying anything. Not just yet. That's what you lot are saying. But if a considerable number of new cars coming out are what some will describe as ugly, does that suggest a new trend? Is ugly the new black? We'll explore that in this latest BCG Bulletin video. But before that, make sure that you're subscribing to youtube.com/browncarguy. Make sure that you're also subscribing to browncarguy.com. And of course, follow me on all the social media channels. Just search for my hashtag. It's on my hat, hashtag browncarguy. If you enjoy my content, you can also sponsor and support it by going to patreon.com/ShazadSheikh. More about that at the end of the video. Cool. Let's get into this. So a few weeks ago, BMW released its new 4 Series and everybody went crazy.
Well, then everyone loses their minds.
What's with that grille? What are you doing, BMW?
I can't make up my mind if they're meant to be flared nostrils or just very long front teeth.
I don't understand why they didn't just keep the same front end as the 3 Series. That's a proper BMW grille, isn't it? Well, you know, there is actually a precedent for the elongated kidney grille in BMW's vintage models, you see.
Oi, this is my show. Don't cover up my face. Get lost, both of you. Yeah, okay, there is a precedent, though of course that's more in keeping with a time when bonnets and hence grills were taller and singularly imposing. Personally, I think it was kind of interesting to stylistically separate out the coupe from the saloon version of BMW's much loved 3 Series segment. Of course, then came the M versions and the coupe. The M4 has an even more exaggerated version of the grille, but at least the M3 retains the regular grille, right? Wrong. But BMW weren't done. They're defiantly doubling down on that controversial grille. Now they've released the first images of the all-new iX luxury full electric SUV that will come out next year, and it looks like this.
It's not just the grille though, is it? Why are BMWs looking like Korean cars and Korean cars are looking like what BMWs should look like? What I don't understand is why does an electric car need even to have a grille? I mean, does it even have a radiator? As someone said, it honestly looks like an Austin Allegro with squirrel teeth.
Honestly, you guys, you know, I think it could be a grower. After all, we've got a whole year to get used to it. BMW even put out an ad campaign berating us all for being so blinkered and narrow-minded. What's your reason not to change? Asked BMW's latest video, adding, did we somehow start to feel uncomfortable with the unknown? Or have we just stopped being open to anything new?
Did we somehow start to feel uncomfortable with the unknown? Or have we just stopped being open for anything new?
You know, they may have a point, but anyway, that car isn't truly ugly. This is ugly.
Jesus Christ, that was like Lady Penelope's Rolls Royce mated with a Bentley Bentayga and they were zapped by gamma radiation whilst they were doing their rumpy pumpy. Oh, my eyes, my eyes!
And the craziest thing is that this is based on the Ram, one of the best looking pickups out there. I mean, why would you change it? Talking of trucks and ugly cars, what about the Tesla Cybertruck? I mean, if I'm honest, if that had come out when I was 10 years old, I'd be all over it. Perfect companion to my Lotus Esprit and Aston Martin Lagonda fantasies. Something out of an 80s sci-fi movie. But today it looks contrived, forced, actually quite lazy in terms of design, plus it's ridiculously huge.
I think it's quite mean actually, like an aluminium fist.
And how about these other modern cars that could also be described as ugly? The Toyota Mirai, Honda Clarity. I mean, just because they are hydrogen and so alternative fuel cars doesn't mean they have to look bizarre. Same goes for the all-electric Mercedes EQ.
Oh, the Toyota and Honda are very clever and important cars, huh? And as for the EQ, come on yaar, it's a Mercedes. How can you say anything bad about it?
Clever isn't always pretty, just witness the McLaren Senna. Though I can barely bring myself to witness it, it's all such an awkward mishmash of confusing shapes and jarring lines.
Oi geezer, you off your rocker? That thing is the dog's doodah.
Plus take the Teslas, any Tesla. The proportion and shapes always seem off to me, particularly when you see them in person.
There you go, picking on Teslas again. Don't you know that Elon Musk has James Bond's esprit?
And I love him for that, plus all the SpaceX stuff, but maybe he should steer clear of trying to design cars. Anyway, getting back to the main question, is this ugly car thing now the thing, so to speak? Are all new and modern cars ugly? No, not at all. I mean, we were just talking about SUVs and trucks, right? Well, check out these two. The delightfully evocative Ford Bronco and the new electric Hummer, which should be in the next Star Wars movie.
That Bronco is the bomb, yaz. That Hummer is freaking awesome, mate.
Plus you have most Peugeots, Polestars, current Jaguars, Aston Martins, and oh, that one-of-one Victor. Actually, the list of good-looking cars is endless. Plus, I've got to mention the Honda E, which is retro meets future done to perfection. And the Sophia Loren of supercars, the Ferrari Roma.
The Honda E really makes me happy, huh? Oh, that Roma. If it wasn't illegal, I'd do that car.
Oh, I did not need to know that. You know, there is such a thing as technically ugly, but inexplicably desirable at the same time. I'm not always a fan of styling house Zagato's work, but when they came out with this brutal Alfa Romeo SZ in 1989, I couldn't even explain why I totally fell for it. It's just not conventionally Alfa pretty, but it works though, doesn't it? As does the 1986 Lamborghini LM002. I mean, this thing is a legend, but step back from the myth and look at it coldly. It's like an automotive orc, right? But it gives totally the right impression. And somehow, Lamborghini has kind of done it again. I mean, Aventador style lines shouldn't work on an SUV, but the new Urus is probably the most striking and exciting looking SUV out there. Sometimes it's all just in the eye of the beholder. I mean, check out the Chrysler PT Cruiser.
That looks like a hearse, mate. Truly lamentable. You know, I think my dada used to have a car like that.
Yeah. Say what you like. I loved these the moment they came out. I still do. And I think they'll have their day as future classics. Sometimes it takes time for cars to come of age. Take, for example, the AMC Pacer. That was made cool by the Wayne's World movie. Remember that? They're collectible now. And when Porsche launched its Cayenne SUV, we all hated it. But now, if I'm honest, it kind of looks good in a chunky sort of way. So, were they ahead of their time? Or have they matured in time? Or perhaps we just got used to them in time? I'm not sure any of those things are true because some cars still don't work. Take the first gen 2008 Mercedes GLK. I mean, what were they thinking?
Again with the Mercedes? I won't have it, sir.
Okay, how about the G-Wiz electric city car?
Now that is a noddy car. I wouldn't be seen dead in that.
And people carriers really struggle with design. From the weird Fiat Multipla to the odious Rodius from SsangYong and the terrible looking Pontiac Aztek.
Say my name.
Yeah, okay, Walter Heisenberg, Breaking Bad White. First chance you got, even you upgraded to a Chrysler 300 CSRT. Good choice, by the way. That is one of my very favorite cars. So cool. But let's bring this thing back full circle to the brand that we started with. Some now say that the flame-surfacing, bangle-butted 7 Series of 2001 was an epochal design statement from BMW. It was just what the luxury car market needed at the time, and a clever design direction. Balderdash. It was ugly then, and it's ugly now. I mean, just recall the sublime 7 Series just before that one, the E38 of 1994, as driven by Pierce Brosnan's Bond in Tomorrow Never Dies. For me, that is even now, quite simply, one of the best looking luxury cars out there. So swell.
Gotta agree with you there, fella. That is what they call uber cool. Make no mistake. Actually, that is unfair, y'all. Chris Bangle was a genius and a visionary. His car was simply too far ahead of its time.
And right here, you can see the real issue. Car guys can't always agree. And they aren't always right. I'm not always right. Mostly I'm right, but not always. As I mentioned earlier, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Ugly is not the new black. It's what it always was, different. And sometimes different works. And if I've learned anything from all of this, it's that sometimes it takes time. So give it time, give it a chance. Don't be quick to judge every new car straight off the block. Let's at least have an open mind. Can we all agree on that?
Most certainly. I'm with you on that one, mate.
And now, I want to hear what are your best and worst ugly cars. Put them in the comments below. I really want to hear your feedback and find out some of these cars that you just think of as ugly. And while you're doing that, make sure that you are subscribing to youtube.com/browncarguy. Make sure that you are subscribing also to browncarguy.com. And of course, make sure that you'll follow me on all the social media channels just by searching #browncarguy. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you enjoy my content, then please consider supporting and sponsoring my content on patreon.com/Shahzad Sheikh. And you will join such amazing people as Mohamed Ali Humaid over in the UAE. Partha in India, find him on partons.com. Tom Conway-Gordon here in the UK. Isaac Beauchard over in America, find him on bespokeautos.com. Reza Adil here, who is all about cigars, find him on Instagram at alizarde.cigars. And then you have Muhammad Qasim, find him on mehms.com, and Siraj Abbasi at virtuosodesign.london. They do incredible flooring and stuff like that. Nice luxury stuff. Go check them out as well. Those guys are awesome, and you know what? You could join them in supporting my content very easily. Just head over to patreon.com/Shahzad Sheikh, and it's from as little as £2 or $2 a month. If you can, that would be great. If you can't, make sure that you hit that like button, make sure that you comment, make sure that you share this, and of course you're subscribing, right? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again soon in the next video.